How Labubu Took Over America by Levi Hildebrand. I'm covering his name, but that's his name.
So this is a Labubu doll, and it is just the latest viral collector trend to take over the world. This cute and slightly scary looking doll is in the hands of celebrities. It's getting unboxed online from millions of viewers, and it has now made the creator of this business a billionaire. But while this is objectively impressive,
Hold on, my fat head's in the way. Boom. Much better.
made the creator of this business
China's Wang Ning adds 1.6 billion to wealth as Americans queue for toys.
a billionaire. But while this is objectively impressive, of course, it is not exactly a unique story anymore. Just a few months ago, we had people stampeding Targets to get Stanley water bottles. We've had influencers spending millions of dollars on Pokemon cards, and you can probably think of a few dozen other examples of things.
Okay, I'm gonna defend Pokemon here for a second. I'm not even a Pokemon fan, but Pokemon is like a generational thing for a lot of people. A lot of people were born with it and grew up with it. I never cared about it, but bought the world's most expensive Pokemon. $5 million. Okay, I didn't know it was that serious. But yeah, it's the same with like baseball cards. It's a collector's item, but like, does it have a practical use, this Labubu thing?
Things that people collect. But it just seems that this trend of collecting is getting faster and faster. The old collector culture was just organizing baseball cards or coins or something in your basement, and now we have people literally throwing hands outside of stores to get their hands on a plastic doll. And not like young
It's the Popeye's chicken sandwich all over again.
kids, you know, at the playground throwing hands, like grown adults
Oh my God.
exchanging fists. And all of this is happening while climate change destroys the planet. We set new records for loneliness, financial instability, and general dissatisfaction with how life is going. And is that a coincidence? Absolutely fucking not.
How it ruined collector culture.
So a few months ago, I watched a video from our friends over at Answer in Progress about this doll. And the only thing I could think of was those bloody Stanley water bottles. Like, I know that one is a water bottle the size of your head and the other is a kid's toy that's giving some real, like, Chucky vibes, I guess. But the feeling around these two trends feels the same. And I would know because on this channel, we have covered a lot of the biggest consumer trends that have happened over the last 4 years. You may have seen some of them if you're a subscriber to this channel. So I think we can probably say confidently that the interest in collecting stuff is not going away anytime soon. But now I'm gonna give you my sort of personal perspective on this subject as an anti-collector. I have made it my pride and joy in my life to not really collect stuff. The only thing that comes even remotely close to that is a collection of pottery that is in our house, but really that is all led by my wife. And one of the only ways that we've really been able to justify owning an absurd number of mugs is because we use them on a daily basis. They are a practical object for us. And that's actually pretty rare amongst collectors. My wife just looked at me.
I'm not gonna lie, I have my own collection of figures because I finally went to an anime convention last year or the year before, and I had some extra money on me, so I started getting figures. I was like, I need to get something other than food. I love trying new things, and for the most part I was just buying food, and then I was like, I want to start a figure collection. So now I have a couple of figures and a lot of Funko Pops. Funko Pops are cheaper. I used to work at GameStop, so I used to get all of the BTS and the My Hero Funko Pops that I could.
And then whispered the words Beanie Babies because as she rightfully points out, and I suppose I should come clean on, I did collect Beanie Babies as a kid.
Oh my God.
That is embarrassing. That is embarrassing for me. Yes, thank you. Thank you. So we did find an article that was written by an actual professor on the subject, and he seems to know what he's talking about. And he gathered 3 basic reasons as to why we collect stuff as a society. Institutional collecting and the associated appropriation of culture, which I interpreted as the way that we preserve history and culture, you know, typically at like an institutional level, like a museum. The particularities phase of the wealthy collector market. So this is like using it as a wealth tool, buying and trading stuff, right? Like think about art and whatnot. And then the individual collector as a psychological oddity, which is all to say that some people are just weird and like weird stuff, I guess. That's my favorite category. So he elaborates on this a lot more in the full article, but basically what he's saying is that a collection can be a means of accumulating wealth, of retaining some sort of cultural tradition, or a connection to a community that you find interesting. A full manifestation of the collector culture is one that does all three of those things. Now, this made a lot of sense to me, but I was also not surprised to learn that collections became a lot more popular after the advent of the internet. Because of course, like everything else, the internet took something that humans have always done and just made it faster and more problematic. Today, more and more people are collecting, and they're collecting more and more things. And this is most common, particularly amongst younger generations.
They get that big?
This is most common, particularly amongst...
Why are they so big? God, they're so fucking ugly. Am I just a hater? I don't know. I don't fucking like these things. I forgot my water. Hold on.
2,000 years later.
Younger generations. As a millennial here, I have to clarify that younger generations means like Gen Zs, which are like people that are just coming out of high school now, or kind of like in university, not like young people, like kids, because this is actually not a story about kids collecting toys. It's about adults collecting toys.
No way. Sorry.
But more importantly, the act of...
Sir, what the fuck are you screaming for? You know what you bought. Is it like a mystery? Like, there's probably different variations of it. Well, clearly, as we saw, there's different variations of it, and like, are there
collecting has changed a lot. Collecting used to happen over the course of your lifetime. If you happened to find something that you liked or you were really interested in it, you would buy it. And you'd maybe hit some garage sales now and then for a specific thing that you had in mind. Creating a collection was an organic process, one that you cultivated over years of having this one weird little niche interest. This is like the original treasure hunt experience that modern consumerism tries to replicate today. But now this emotional attachment is kind of gone because you can just buy everything that you ever wanted online instead. This is, I think, quite literally a product of our internet-dependent culture. Just like in the past, collecting cards or coins or whatever was a way for you to connect with other people who also collect cards, or a way for you to hold on to fond memories of the past when you yourself played baseball or whatever. But the internet has changed fundamentally one part of the collecting experience, and that is the resale market. Because according to our academic friend we referenced earlier, in the past, people who collected stuff were generally thought of as mildly disturbed cranks who have an inexplicable need to gather large numbers of items few others deem interesting. Basically, they were fucking nerds. But today, that has completely changed. The whole concept of flipping or reselling is like a side hustle that you can find all—
I saw this clip and it absolutely tore my heart to shreds. This big back 80-year-old fucking loser took every Pokemon item off of this shelf in front of this kid who has his own money to buy his own it's probably like his first purchase in his whole life. And this fucking loser, this sack of flabbing shit, took everything to resell it at a crazy price on fucking eBay or some bullshit. I feel so bad for this kid.
All kinds of content online about how to get yourself started. Nowadays, collectors' items are not being bought by collectors, they're being bought by investors and traders looking to make a quick buck off of somebody else's perceived value of those things, who, for the most part, end up being other traders and investors. And while this has always been a thing, the internet has really just rocket launched this into a viable financial resource for some people. The whole concept of NFTs is this exact idea taken to the absolute extreme. We considered making a video about NFTs, but it feels like the market has already died or something. We're not really that up to speed with those things, so we didn't make it. But if you do want us to make a retrospective video about the death of NFTs or something, let us know. Maybe maybe we could go down that rabbit hole.
This is your
mine.
ape. Are we debuting
It's
it?
really cool.
This shit is so ugly.
But Labubu is like the full manifestation of all the tools that companies can use to manipulate you into buying something that you don't need, and it is honestly kind of impressive. The UK has recently had to stop selling these things entirely because people were assaulting each other trying to get one. And it represents a broader fever around these things that I think is kind of wild. Fans have been cited saying resellers ruin everything,
Yes,
insinuating
they do.
that the resale culture
They're called
around
scalpers.
these dolls is a main reason why they're constantly selling out, which is in turn angering crowds. And at first I was kind of like, come on man, like is this really that big of a deal? But apparently people are buying out these toys at Pop Mart vending machines and then just reselling them back to the people in line behind them. And on top of this, the resale market has actually gotten so crazy that Lafufus, fake Labubus, are being sold to people who are on the hunt for one of these specific
What the fuck is that?
pieces. And as Sabrina talks about in their video, even without all the added drama, the experience of buying one of these toys is genuinely something else. If you haven't seen her video, you should definitely go check it out. But what she is experiencing is a new kind of marketing that is becoming increasingly common within the collectibles world specifically. These Labubu toys come in boxes, and the boxes themselves don't actually
$37 for this little piece of shit? Oh my god. Dude, I'm in the wrong market. I need to start reselling. The only reason I can't do that is because I don't have the money to buy the shit in the first place. Never mind.
tell you what's inside them. They tell you the odds for each toy that might be in the box. And this is known as a blind box. See, this is just another layer on top of the tried and true playbook of psychological tricks to get people to buy stuff, right? Limited colors and special editions that we saw from
Isn't
water
it also
bottles,
just
the
like loot
collaborations
boxes?
with other big recognizable companies that
this
Crumble
not
was
just
famous
another way of
for,
gambling?
and these big announcements of an impending drop to build anticipation and excitement from shoppers that we see from the fashion world. And this latest feature is pretty well gambling.
Exactly.
So the idea of a blind box, a product that you buy without actually knowing the contents, is not totally novel either, of course, but it is easy to see why these things are so popular. There is something truly thrilling about not knowing what you're gonna get.
Basically, I'll be happy with any of them except that fuck-ass Christmas tree. I don't like that one. All the other ones I think are very cute.
Dumb bitch. I'm sorry. I didn't have to do that. She looks so pissed.
Wanting a particular character from a set and just not being sure whether or not this is going to be the one. The unboxing experience becomes something special and exciting for people, right? Because you want something. And now you have this moment of sort of limbo where you get to experience the exhalation and the exhalation? That's maybe not the right word. Now, we unboxed one of these things on our Patreon podcast just to get a sense of what it was like. And even though we're not particularly emotionally invested in the outcome, it was still pretty fun.
Which one's this guy? We got Peepo.
Peepo, let's go. Peepo represent.
Peepo, the Monsters Classic series, sells for $56 on eBay. So we may be getting a almost double our investment on this if we successfully sell it.
The unboxing experience has been designed to be something special and exciting for people. And unlike a lottery ticket, you actually have something to show for it at the end, regardless of whether or not it's the one that you wanted. But imagine if you were really invested in a particular outcome. You have an idea of a particular toy that you're excited about. Suddenly, this unboxing experience can be like a highlight of your week or month or year even.
We're going back in. We're going back inside.
No.
What are the odds that I get the same one twice, right? It's gonna be fine.
I hope you got the same one twice. There's no fucking way she got the same one twice. That is so funny. You kind of deserve it.
And this stuff is popping up everywhere. We found an article for the 25 best blind box gifts that you could buy a person. And I didn't even know that there was that many blind boxes out there. And it turns out that there is a lot of different blind boxes.
Oh my
like
God.
baby cactus blind boxes and capybara, little pig blind boxes.
Cactus pup? capybaras? Even if I had the extra money, I wouldn't spend it on this shit.
Boxes and unicorns, and then like the further we went along on this, I sort of realized that blind box is just one word for it, but there's also other words for this,
Loot
right?
boxes.
Like mystery boxes are the same thing, but sort of catered to a more male audience, maybe. We found one for the UFC, of all things. The basic idea is to
800
sell
clams.
people a collection of products or a single product that is exclusive in some way because you don't quite know what it is yet. And it is definitely working. Just because something is addictive, well-designed, or fun to engage with doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be successful. A huge factor of why these things have gone so widespread is because of the cultural landscape that they've been introduced to. 10, 15, 20 years ago, this might not have hit as hard as it did today because shit is pretty fucked up right now, if you haven't noticed. And people are buying these toys as an escape from reality. Fellow YouTuber Shauna Rapari actually has a great video all about how self-help language is being used to promote overconsumption. And it really applies to these collections. Grown adults are justifying buying children's toys to heal their inner child. But the thing about healing your inner child is that it requires real introspection and like a lot of work to fix that trauma. And buying a novelty toy that you weren't able to buy yourself as a child might feel good for a minute, but it's not going to fix your problem. Hence, the need to constantly go out and buy more of them. But it's not just childhood trauma. The demographic that is really into this stuff most is the anxious generation, right? There's literally a book about them that's called that. And this is a lot of people today, a bunch of people who are chronically online, which makes you feel disconnected and lonely. And these toys bring you this like fleeting, exhilarating feeling that we don't get a lot now. A lot of people today are chronically online, which leads them to be disconnected from their communities and lonely. These toys bring this fleeting but exhilarating feeling of relief from both of those things. The thrill of perhaps winning the version that you've been wanting or that is actually worth more than what you bought, and this symbolic connection to a whole bunch of other people online who like these fuzzy little guys. They are kind of fuzzy. I think they're all fuzzy. The one that we got was like this weird little star-shaped thing.
I didn't know which one to get, but this one said classic on it. And so I thought it was kind of like the original Labubu doll. Turns out this is just like the Christmas collection that I bought in May.
And sadly, this is just another story of a hobby that has been depersonalized and corporatized by influencers and pop stars. Most people agree that Labubu's popularity stems from K-pop star Lisa featuring
God damn it, I'm so sick of celebrities touching shit.
it so heavily in interviews and social media and paparazzi and whatnot. And we've seen this before. The recent surge in popularity of Pokemon cards, especially over the pandemic, can be partly attributed to Logan Paul and other influencers who were just spending millions of dollars to try and get these super exclusive cards. But I also, I don't want you to walk away from this video thinking that you can't spend your money on something silly like a toy, right? Or that it's wrong to buy an item that you intend to preserve in its original state. We're not gonna try and cancel the 5,000-year-old industry of art collecting, for example. But this boom in collectors feels hollow because it's not necessarily resulting in more collector communities. Like, these collections weren't just supposed to be traded online for money. They were supposed to be shared at car shows and card swaps and conventions. But if you are a collector, please let us know in the comments if this kind of thing is happening, because we did try and find answers for that question and we couldn't really find it because, as we said, there's not a lot of studies on collector culture for some reason. So leave a comment down below if you are a part of a collector community that you think is genuinely popping off and is maybe doing better than ever because of the internet, because it's easy to find only negative stories on these sorts of subjects, and we appreciate nuance here on this channel, just like
Gambling for kids. They summed it up pretty nice.